Good morning, getting old. It's not as hard to be alive as it was some time ago because there's people talking about the cause of crisis. But it's been burdened with the war in the Ukraine and Nosgari from the Trumpy tune. I'm going to talk about all that. Now, I want to say maybe if everybody was listening, millions and millions of people, it might make sense for me to temper my remarks, adjust them to fit the norm and all that, stuff. But I've been seeing businesses closed from COVID who I admired, even if I wasn't particularly welcome. I admired them. Small businesses, and now they're closed. And that makes a brother peeved, unhappy, a little bit dismal. So Gurdjieff used to talk about all and everything, and Mao used to talk about resolving the contradictions between the people. I'll be a little more measured. I'm just going to keep my views to myself and share them. I'm not going to emboss them or tailor them or trickle them down. I'm going to say them how I see it. First, regarding January 6th investigation, they did a good job, but I'll be danged if I'm going to ever say that NATO is a humdinger. You get these guys who served. I don't know what serve's supposed to mean. We go foot stomping over Afghanistan. Nobody believes the lies of state when it comes to Iraq and Vietnam. Don't try it, son. But they, blood oath, death vow, we will. And then they introduce this notion of finding a narrative that isn't fractaled by the adversary. Well, who's the adversary within the narrative? Was that not Trumpy tune? They don't say that. What's the narrative? Hollywood should be put on leave of absence, permanent leave of absence, so we can forget the narrative and find out what's going on. So don't give me NATO's all the beautiful bag of bananas because I know better. America has homeless problems. We have people who are lonely. We have people in wheelchairs. We have diabetics galore. We have people much in need of understanding regarding the wildfires and the heat. And we have incompetent people, but they're lawyers in charge of the civics norms. Incompetent, but lawyer. Lawyer up with these incompetents. Now, I don't have anything in for nobody. I go to the grocery store and I say, please excuse me, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing nicely, to each and every particular. I have no need to redress wrongs. I have no wrongs to redress. I'm on good footing with my fellow man, and I admire people in their struggles. There's some people who sitting around, have hardship, but they're friendly. And I like them. They're nice. And I see the same wheel turn over in Mother Russia and the Ukraine. I don't see it all that different. Nobody likes the bombings and all that. Now, the idea of 100 times the size of Chernobyl is an outrage. It's indecent. It's surreal. Putin, please stop. But I also saw the POWs of Russia, and I saw how America treated Boris Yeltsin. I see the guys with their mums who don't want to fight and who know it's crummy. I do have something to say about all that stuff. Boris Yeltsin may have seemed to be a little bit tipsy in late in years, but he had extended a hand of faith. And Russians are just like the kids in the Midwest. Some of them are a little slow, some of them are really brilliant. But they have nobody has any business grandiosing each other or nautifying thinking process difference and leaning on each other with brainwashing. Nobody has any business. Russian POWs were honest, humble, generous, decent people. I mean, I realize that some of these guys committed crimes and were apprehended and charged. That's a matter for the state of the Ukraine. But the Ukraine state doesn't have all that much to brag about in my book. They had an opportunity to work with the Russians and they turned it down because America was leaning on those humdingers in NATO. They were going to come with the super hypersonics. And what did they do? So Putin's getting uh, NATO consolidated by his dishonest measures. And conversely, we handed him his excuse on a silver platter. So don't give me no NATO is a humdinger. NATO's no humdinger. The answer is to get this resolved. Let Russians take care of the Russian people and the Donbass. That's my opinion. There's too much. There's too much suffering, and protect the POWs of Russia. And let's not have these bombings of civilian people unredressed. Let's look into the books and make those a matter of history so the outrages committed against the people of Ukraine are solemnly noted forever by historians. That's how I see the situation. But there's more to all this. What's the deal with all these $1 billion weapons? I don't want to hear these NATO's no humdinger with the $1 billion weapons, with these blood oaths and death vows and their phony narratives out of Hollywood. Because I know better. I know America has problems too. Peter Gabriel used scabies on me and Mount Desert. I don't know. We got monkeypox running around. They get $1 billion weapons. They can't even find a basketball team to put on my lead, so this doesn't happen. You get a basketball team, you put one on Paul Runko of Advanced Material Devices and find out if he's getting into the polio down there in Ajax headquarters pit, where they give little kids snort and say vivisection will make a monkeypox out of you, queer ball. I know exactly what kind of character is behind this stuff. Now I have 6 or 7 promising leads, and they can't even get a goddamn basketball team to cover the leads I've developed on these matters. To hell with NATO's a humdinger and your blood oath and death vow and your phony narratives.